everyone. This is Dr. Liv with New Insight, and thank you so much for joining me in another video. A toxic friendship. Have you ever met someone who seemed fun and relatable, even like they could become a close friend? However, over time, the connection left you feeling anxious, drained, and questioning yourself. Not every friendship is meant to last, and some are meant to teach you what not to tolerate. This is a story of a toxic friendship and how easy it is to ignore red flags when you really want to believe in the connection. Natalie was going through a tough season, trying to figure out her next steps in life. One day she ran into an old classmate at the supermarket. They talked briefly, exchanged numbers, and went their separate ways. At first, Natalie felt hesitant. She was already stretched thin, busy, introverted, and aware that she didn't always have the emotional bandwidth for new relationships. She also remembered from high school that her and the other person were very different. Different personalities, different values. But she didn't want to come across as rude or antisocial. And she thought to herself, people do change. And from that brief conversation they had, it also seemed as though they were both going through difficult life circumstances. So Natalie allowed herself to believe that maybe this could turn into a meaningful friendship, a sisterhood. But that is not what happened. At first, everything seemed fine. Her new friend called and texted often, wanting to hang out, talk, and grab drinks. And Natalie did enjoy parts of it. Her friend was funny, and they shared some common experiences. Natalie was laughing, not hyper-focusing on her problems, and having some adult conversations and fun outside of a hectic schedule. But over time, things started to feel off. Natalie was quiet and reserved. Her friend was loud, sometimes even rude in public, leaving Natalie feeling embarrassed. Her friend was flirtatious, spoke without filter, did not care who she offended, yet she was easily offended herself, often overreacting in anger and verbal aggression. There were moments when Natalie felt anxious, uncomfortable, even unsafe in certain situations. Then came the emotional imbalance. Her friend expected Natalie to always be available, to listen, support, give advice. But when Natalie offered honesty, it wasn't received well, because Natalie wasn't the type to just say what sounded good. She believed in saying what was truthful and helpful, and that became a problem for the friend. Feeling drained, Natalie started slowly distancing herself, not in a cruel way. She just became less available. She stopped answering every phone call and text immediately. She stopped going out every single time her friend wanted to go somewhere. And she was emotionally tired, beginning to realize that constantly pouring into the friendship was draining her. And that's when the tension started to grow. Her friend became angry and offended, almost entitled to Natalie's time and attention. If Natalie said no to going out, there was guilt. If she didn't respond quickly enough, there was attitude. And when Natalie tried suggesting different ways to spend time together, things that didn't involve clubs, alcohol, or chaotic environments, her friend called it boring and showed no interest. Natalie started realizing they didn't actually value the same things. And another pattern became impossible to ignore. Her friend would make rude comments about people, mock others, say inappropriate things, and expect Natalie to laugh along with it. But Natalie stopped entertaining it. She stopped co-signing behavior that made her uncomfortable. And anytime she didn't laugh, she didn't agree, or didn't encourage the negativity, her friend would flip it around on her. You think you're too good. You act so stuck up. You think you're better than everybody. Instead of respecting Natalie's boundaries, She attacked her character for having them. And deep down, Natalie knew the truth. This friendship was not adding anything positive to her life. She had already been through a painful long-term breakup. She was emotionally exhausted, trying to heal, trying to find peace again. The last thing she needed was another relationship that left her emotionally drained and depleted. The friendship became one-sided. There was gossip, insensitive comments, and pressure to compromise her boundaries. When Natalie tried to communicate, her friend was always angry, defensive, and dismissive, saying things like, "You think you're better than me." And underneath the jokes, there was something deeper: jealousy and resentment, a mean girl spirit, except they were adult women, not girls. Still, Natalie questioned herself. Am I being judgmental? Am I too rigid? Do I need to just loosen up and be more like how she says I should be? But deep down, she knew the truth. She didn't want anything or anyone disrupting her peace. Have you ever been in a friendship that tested your boundaries, drained your energy, or made you question yourself? How did you handle it? The lesson here is to trust your intuition. Do not ignore the red flags, and do not compromise your boundaries or standards. Just because you can laugh and have a good time with someone does not make them a friend. Just because someone can be cool sometimes doesn't make them a good person. And just because you have things you relate to doesn't mean there's compatibility. And speaking your truth about someone or a situation is not judging. Refusing to compromise your boundaries is not arrogance. So don't let anyone cost you your safety, happiness, self-respect, or peace. Some friendships grow with you, and others reveal what you've outgrown. Knowing the difference can change everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.